Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
You've just joined the Prepper Broadcasting Network, where we promote self-reliance and independence. The views and opinions expressed are strictly those of the host or their guests. Visit us in the interactive chat room at prepperbroadcasting.com.
Good evening, everyone. If you're a prepper, you're in the right place at the right time. This is the Prepping Academy, skirting the globe through miles of fiber optic cable at nearly the speed of light directly to you, with your hosts, Forrest and Kyle. Coming to you from the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, the information you get from the show could save your life. Whether you're a veteran, beginning prepper, or just curious, there is something here meant for you.
Hey guys, welcome to the Prepping Academy. I am Forrest. We have Kyle in the house. We are coming to you live from the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. If you're listening to us via podcast, we are live every Friday night. Go to prepperbroadcasting.com. We have an interactive chat room that you can join, but that's every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do this for lots of money. Oh, wait, fun.
Yeah, there's no money involved.
Oh, no money involved at all. Gosh. We got to change it.
You know, I really wish we weren't in the Queen City. It feels like there's a little bit extra flair that I wish wasn't there.
Yeah, okay, the Queen, yeah. Well, Flair.
Ric Flair?
What was the movie, Flair? Come on.
What?
Office Space. Jennifer
Aniston.
Aniston.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Little side note there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you're on Blog Talk Radio and you go, hey, what's this show that's live right now? Go over to prepperbroadcasting.com. You can join our interactive chat room and you can listen to us over there. And it will be live there as well. As I'm saying all this, Kyle's across the table yawning. That's nice. Are you bored already? We just started the show.
No, it's all good.
All good.
It's all good.
So, Kyle, how was your week? Big week for you.
Yeah. Starting a new job on Monday.
A new job.
So.
And at your new job, you'll be working how many hours a week?
Probably more than 40.
More than 40.
Yeah, probably around 50.
How can we need to somehow get paid for doing nothing?
Well, when the robots take our jobs, there'll be a living wage, and then you'll just be paid to shop and exist.
That's not true.
Until the robots
I
harvest
sell
you.
robots, by the way.
Yes, I know you do. That's why you're the man.
Yeah, to put one robot into a plant, it takes about 300 people to develop it, engineers to make it.
Yeah, and then eventually the machines will be making the machines, repairing the machines, and then they'll be using us to harvest for heat parts. Didn't they make a movie like that? Like Matrix?
So then, why can't I get a bunch of robots, go to a temp agency, and hire my robots out? Then get the money.
You will be whenever the technology gets there.
Mm-hmm.
I actually envision that. There'll probably be people who buy up technology and robots, and then they'll go out there and use that as a workforce.
No.
And then they'll have like robot rights, and then they'll have Robot Lives Matters.
And it shows about robots.
Yeah.
And the movies like WALL-E.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
sure.
Great. So, hey guys, welcome to the Prepping Academy. Hey, we are live tonight. Last week we had Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy. Man, did I get a hard time from them. Listen, they're still making fun of me because I screwed up their names, I screwed up their book, and I screwed up their podcast.
But fear not, they did impart some wisdom on me. So if you ever get shot, I will stick my underwear in your wound.
What?
Yeah, they said that whatever you have on hand, socks, underwear, just take it in there to stop the bleeding.
They were great. I love them.
Like, even if I have an Israeli bandage, I'm going to use underwear.
Hey, just a side note. Tomorrow and Sunday, May 20th and 21st, there is a SGK Emergency Prepper Expo in Greensboro, North Carolina. They got some wonderful speakers.
SRG?
No, I'm reading this SGK. It is not. SRG is a different one. That is in Raleigh, Charlotte, and Columbia. But this one is SGK. So look it up. That's my guy from Columbia. That's why he thinks it's the SRG, because he's from Columbia. Yeah, this is a different group.
That makes sense.
Again, they got the keynote speaker is at noon tomorrow, and he is absolutely a genius. He is speaking. I've already talked to him. He's speaking on survival groups.
Who could that be?
That would be me. So anyway, come join us in Greensboro, North Carolina, at the Greensboro Coliseum, actually. You know, it's where the Final Four, where they play some basketball games. And
that's on the nice part of town, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I've been to Greensboro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Actually, some people in the chat room are saying, hey, we'll be working the CPN table. That's the Carolina Preppers Network table. Hey, everyone listening, go to CarolinaPreppersNetwork.com. We got a brand new website. You can kind of see the cities that we're in and what's kind of going on. It's brand new. Go check us out there. So, let me talk about one of our sponsors, because we got two really good sponsors that are just awesome. One's Retreat Realty out of Black Mountain, North Carolina. His name is John. He is amazing. He can find you property. Like, he understands what a prepper is looking for. In the mountains, anywhere, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, wherever, up in the mountains. He knows what you're looking for. He knows how to be discreet. He can help you.
It also kind of averts problems because, a lot of realtors, you go out there and then you tell them you're looking for a prepper retreat. And then you have to kill them because then they know what you're doing.
Exactly.
But John already has one, so
he has. And
he's not coming to your house.
Not only that, he goes in and knows how to ask the questions, and so the other realtor may never even see you.
Yeah.
So, but that's at retreatrealty.com. Retreatrealty.com, and he has a blog he does about a couple times a week, and they're really good. So that's retreatrealty.com. So, Kyle, we come to this time every week. Every week you seem to disappoint me more and more.
Well, we're even then.
We're even. So what is? Oh, by the way, top secret. My in-laws are in the other room, so we have to kind of watch ourselves.
Oh.
We do this out of my home office, so my in-laws are here.
Yeah.
That's not good. Anyway, they don't listen to podcasts.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah.
So we come to this point where it's Kyle's conspiracy theory of the week. Kyle, you better have a good one this week, because last week it was like make your own conspiracy theory and it could be true.
Dude, I'm not even.
You're not even gonna comment. Okay, what is talking about diva cups? Kyle likes to talk about them, but I'm not. No, we're gonna talk about Kyle's conspiracy theory of the week. What is your conspiracy theory this week?
I was gonna talk about Edgar Cayce. He was a American Christian mystic from late 1800s, early 1900s. Predicted a lot of the kind of the downfall of American society and different, let's say, geology events that would occur down the road. And one of his most prominent prophecies, and it was kind of out in the prepping world for a good while, was there was these maps that were supposedly like secret maps that the Navy had developed that, some sort of catastrophe was going to happen, and like most of the East Coast was going to end up underwater. California was going to sink into the ocean. Still praying on that one. New York was going to get flooded. Florida was going to get flooded. But a bunch of places. And then like the Great Lakes were just going to somehow magically dump into the center of the United States and literally just divide the United States in two.
Through the Mississippi River,
yeah.
I would guess.
Yeah.
Of course, you said this earlier that you were going to talk about this Cayce guy, and I've never heard of him.
Yeah. not a lot of people have.
I don't listen to Alex Jones every day either.
It's not Alex. Alex Jones is total man. You're
so calm tonight. What's wrong with you?
I'm tired. I'm very calm. But it's one of those things that a lot of people have had their eye on. But what's really interesting is that even prior to knowing about Edgar Cayce, there have been a growing number of Americans who have been having dreams about something like that happening. And a lot of the dreams start off with there being very massive earthquakes, and particularly around the New Madrid Fault, and obviously out in California, the San Andreas Fault. So it's interesting to me that all these people are having, correlating dreams of something along those lines.
Well, I've seen a lot of maps. I didn't know that it originated with him of, the Mississippi just overflowing like hundreds of miles both ways. And in the coast, I've seen maps.
Yeah.
But maybe most of them were the dang liberals putting out, if all the ice caps melted in the Arctic, I don't know.
I try and take things and look at stuff whenever I hear about dreams and visions and stuff like that, and try to look at them from two different sides. You have to look at the physical realm, and you have to look at the spiritual realm. And interestingly enough, if he was really getting information from God, and he was a legit American Christian mystic, we'll say, some of the stuff was a little far-fetched, but some of it did later on come true. He does have a decent track record. In biblical interpretation of some dreams, whenever you talk about flood and waters, and particularly whenever they talk about roaring waters and storms, they're actually referring to peoples and societal uproar. And I thought it was very interesting that it had the most densely populated areas really being immersed in a flood, essentially, even straight down through the center of the United States. I'm not saying that it's necessarily a physical thing, but wonder if it's something that happens in the country where there's a great divide. And it would happen kind of like that. You would have people on the East Coast, and it'd be kind of segregated for people who are up in more rural areas. And just an interesting idea, I thought, to throw out there.
Well, you sorry, I'm laughing. You mentioned before the show that this guy would sleep on top of a book.
Yeah, it was said that he would be able to
and then
sleep on a
he
book
could
and absorb all the knowledge.
And he could absorb all the knowledge. And what did I say?
I don't remember.
Everyone went home. He turned the light on and read the dang book. And when people came back, he woke up, and they asked him, what was the book about?
Interestingly enough, though, there are things that lean proof scientifically to people being able to absorb information in their sleep.
Well,
I just read a study not too long ago where it was something where you can actually, how did it work? If you hear something and then you go back and it's played back to you in your sleep.
Oh, now I agree with that. That's how I trained my bird to do the Andy Griffith Show. I used to have a cockatoo, and I recorded the Andy Griffith Show on a cassette tape and did auto rewind and play. Dude, that bird was perfect, and just repetitive, it could do it.
And now I know why you no longer have a bird.
Yeah, well, no, actually, my bird would fly. One day it flew out, and I'm like, oh, there's no way I can get it. It's 40 feet in the tree. He flew back in, and he kept doing that, and it was amazing. My bird would go out for a while and come back in.
That's something I'd like to do, but my bird would probably eat your bird and do falconry.
Oh, yeah, mine was in the Air Force. Everyone seemed to love my bird. Everybody came by and let him out and played with him.
But they use falcons to fetch, tear up someone's house.
You couldn't get him to come back on his own, so I'd have to always leave my door cracked. Anyway, that's a pretty interesting guy, I guess. I guess that would require some research because I've never heard of this guy, so I really can't make fun of you at this point, which is, I feel really awkward.
Yeah.
That I can't say anything. But laying on books, absorbing the knowledge, that's BS. I'll call BS on that. A couple of people in the chat room seem to like him. Said that the Navy actually has his maps in their office. So, anyway. That's interesting. Thanks for your conspiracy theory. You know, one week we're going to switch this up, and I'm going to bring one.
And everyone, you see how many people are in there right now? It's going to be like 2.
2.
And then they're going to get back on.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
My conspiracy theory is going to be about milk. I don't know.
Don't drink pasteurized milk.
I don't know. Oh, almond milk, man. Chocolate almond milk. That is the bomb. Holy moly. Oh.
No.
Anyway, okay, tonight's show, you came up with this topic, but I teach a class that has a lot of this information in there.
Mm-hmm.
But you came up with the topic because we sometimes struggle what we're going to talk about because we cover everything. We're so knowledgeable. Okay, I am so knowledgeable. Oh, wait. Okay, neither one of us.
We never have time to go over everything we know.
It's so hard, and so we don't want to repeat things if we can help it. But tonight is securing your perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to let you kind of start out. Well, there's many different ways to do it. But again, in my spy class that I teach 1 and 2, I actually have several things that we're probably going to talk about in that. So how would you like to lead off tonight, Mr. Let's talk about securing.
Well, one of the most important things is obviously we're talking about realty. If you're in a position where you're looking at a bug out location, is being able to choose the proper layout. So if you can, pick some place that you have somewhere where you can naturally funnel people, you have high cliffs, sheer mountains, et cetera. Those are nice things as long as you can actually get out of them because you don't want to be in a position where you're backed into a corner.
So you're saying the actual property itself,
is very
can
essential.
be purchased with security in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then you also have to be very aware of your surroundings. And we've talked about different maps we've used before that we talk about how close prisons are, medical facilities, military bases, nuclear reactors, everything like that. There's so many different threats that you can go over. You really have to sit down, and it's not just about preparing your house for perhaps a criminal or something like that.
Right.
You want to.
It's also about exploring the land around you too. Mm-hmm. I lived in a town in the mountains, Mitchell County, and they did a lot of they would drill a lot of mines to see if they could get to the minerals they were looking for. And they would just abandon these holes in the ground. Some would go straight down. Some would go at an angle of like 45 degrees. And I know on our property up there in the mountains, the property next to us had like 6. I mean, you could go back in one of them like 150 feet. It was a cave as big as a car could drive through. It's not on a map. But that could be a strategic location that you would need for security. 1, someone else could find that and make a home, or 2, you might go and hide there.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing your surroundings, having a map, but also walking the area to know it as well.
Hey, let's take a quick break.
Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
I mean, it's one of the things I even did where I recommend a lot of times whenever we've had these meetings, and I was using Google Images, and they have nice tools on like Google Earth where you can actually go back through and take essentially like a ruler and you can measure out. So I have for my maps, I have everything measured out from maybe a main house to what's 100 yards, what's 200 yards, 300 yards.
And that's for target. I mean,
that's just for your defenses. So I mean, we've talked about this before because I'm more of a gun guy, I would say, than you are.
No, you're only a gun guy.
No.
I'm a gun guy, but you're only a gun guy.
Who knows natural medicine?
Well,
who does gardening?
I do gardening.
Oh, salsa does not count.
Well, it does. Salsa is very important in a grid down situation.
anyways, so it's important to have, once you really have a place where you can establish yourself, if you can go through and have multiple guns, even if it's the same platform, but then already, pre-zeroed to, your different increments, I find that to be a useful way of, not having to switch anything with your optics, read, sight anything.
Right.
So I think that's important to be able to do.
Yep.
Also knowing what your natural resources are, what you can actually use to create barriers. I've seen this really ingenious thing. I remember there was there was a lot of flooding in the Midwest. It was maybe like St. Louis or someone like that a few years back. And this guy actually took out his tractor and basically plowed up dirt all around it and just built it up on the sides.
Yes.
And he was the only house.
Yes.
He was the only house that did that, and he was perfectly fine.
Yes.
And everyone's like, "Holy crap, that was genius."
Yeah, and everybody hated him too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, that's the sort of brilliance you kind of need in this environment.
Yep. So I have a list of things that you can also use for defense or to secure your homestead, your farm, your house, even if it's, in a suburban neighborhood. But one would be a dog.
This coming from the guy who said no dogs.
Oh, yeah, I hate dogs. I don't hate dogs. I just have a devil dog.
Your dog is magnificent and lovely.
He likes you for some reason.
He's massaging my
which
feet
makes
right now.
me question him even more that he likes you. But a dog that barks at people or things moving.
Yeah.
Now, on a retreat during a grid down and there's no power, no dogs. No dogs.
Oh, so I disagree.
I know you disagree. A dog bark can cost you your retreat security.
Yeah, a gunshot can cost them their life.
Well,
and if you have proper
70
retreat,
of them?
if you have proper retreat security, you don't have to worry about something like that. And you have a dog that's well trained. You're used to dogs that are household dogs.
No, dogs bark. All dogs bark if they see something.
Dogs will bark, but that's why there should be things set in place that they don't get to that point.
Okay.
Which is actually going to bring me, and I want to wait a little bit later on, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump in there. And a lot of people don't consider these things, but when you look at something where if you're in an urban area, you don't have as many resources, but if you're in a rural area, I always recommend people go back and look at how civilizations have been doing it for hundreds of years prior to what we have now.
A fence.
Not necessarily just a fence, but you can do multiple barriers. If you have heavy equipment, you can do trenches. You can do trenches with water. You can do a moat type system. One of my favorite, you laugh, but one of my favorite.
No one I've ever met has a moat around their house.
I'm not saying they're going to have it right now, but if they have the equipment to do something, they can move earth and make it beneficial.
Okay.
One of the best systems I've ever seen, and true to testament history, was what Julius Caesar came up with during the Battle of Alesia. So prior to him becoming ruler and everything like that, he basically devised a system during the battle with the Gauls where there was layers of basically fortifications that you wouldn't be able to go through here easily. So say your first area you would go through, there would be, you ever seen like those little Vietnamese traps where they have spikes in there?
Yep.
There would be small ones like that for maybe like 300 yards. And it was just like a minefield and stuff like that. And then the next one, there was briars.
Are you saying? I'm saying on your farm or your retreat?
I'm saying if you have
that would take you 10 years to dig that many.
No. If you're doing everything you need to be doing with community and everything like that, you don't have to do it around the entire thing. You do it around multiple sides. So if you don't have, the optimum property, you still have some options that you can look in there. Look back into history and see what people used to do to protect, themselves.
Well, I don't live back in history, so I can. None of my things has anything to do with building traps for people.
That's why you're going to die.
You can't do that really in peacetime.
No, you can't do it now. You could start preparing some things.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
Like you could start preparing.
Oh, by the way, I am waving the knife around, and you keep looking at me as I'm waving this knife around. Are you nervous?
No, it's a metal object.
Are you nervous? Because I don't know why I'm waiting. I just have it in my hand, waving around, and you keep looking at me like I'm getting ready to stab you with it or something. Okay, I have dogs. Then the next one I have signs. Do not enter. I mean, that's a deterrent to some honest people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
You don't like that one?
No.
Okay.
If I see that, I'm going to know that you're there. And then here's the other thing that I like about clearing a field and preparing traps and stuff like that. If I know that you're there.
Okay, but I'm just telling you what you're saying is not practical. Let's say I have a farm out in the middle of the mountains,
Yes.
and there's nothing but trees around me.
Yeah.
If I'm out clearing fields, making fields, people are going to kill me. They're going to know I'm up there. So you have to do all that before the grid hits.
You get some things prepared. So it's like, all right, like say your windows in your house.
Uh-huh.
You can go today, you can run down to Home Depot or Lowe's, and you can go get plywood boards cut.
Yes.
You're obviously not going to go down.
But
after
you're not
the
going to go
cut
and start chopping down trees and a grid down.
No,
and
you should
people are
already
going to hear you.
No, it's something that you can start doing today.
Okay.
This is what preppers do. It'd be like saying you're going to buy food later. You should
I
still
think
be
you're
preparing your land.
I think you're talking to the 1% of preppers.
Well, that's the 1% that's going to live.
Yeah.
Because here's one of my things.
I know. I don't say I know 4,100 that are in the Carolina Preppers Network, but I've yet to hear anyone that has a retreat that they're doing enough work on it that they're preparing for things like you're telling them to do.
They should be. Whenever you look at the logistics.
But you're talking to the 1%. I'm telling you.
And that's the smart 1% that's listening.
True, but why are we talking to 1% of our audience?
Because I'm trying to get that 1% to grow to 3, to grow to 10, to grow to 20, and so on and so on.
I understand what you're saying.
Because here's the concern,
you're always the extreme 100% prep.
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I were someone who was not a prepper, and I had myself a gun, a few other tools, and stuff like that, and I seen there's that nice little community over there, and they're not going to invite me in, and me and my maybe like 2 or 3 other little hooligans that I'm with decide, hey, I want what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I come up there and you say, well, turn around, forget we were here, or maybe you just shoot me in cold blood. I don't know what your option would be, that you would do that with your bylaws and your rules of engagement. But here's what I would do. I would probably say, well, forget this place. Let's just burn it.
Right.
At a Molotov cocktail, unless you have, and let's be honest, most people are not going to have the equipment to put out a large fire, particularly a forest fire.
Mm-hmm.
So clearing areas around your farm and making it so that you have 500 yards of clear sight all around you, yeah, you might be seen, but you're going to see everyone around you.
I understand. I'm that is absolutely ridiculous. You're saying that the prepper retreat, the perfect prepper retreat would have 500 yards of cleared land around a house. And I'm thinking of, I've consulted with 15 total, 16 prepper retreats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any of them even own that much land.
500 yards isn't that much.
Well, I mean, if you around the house,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, okay.
I'm saying even afterwards. But
okay,
yeah.
Let's go to the next one that I have. I have dog signs. I have, alarms. There are different types of alarms. There's like tripwire alarms, right? There's cameras that can be an alarm. There's motion lights, and trip lines. Like, one of the things I teach is building a trip line out of a rat trap or a mouse trap, and fishing line, and an electronic match and a battery.
Mm-hmm.
And they work awesome. You can stretch some things 100 yards, and if someone walks and trips that, you can send up a huge fireworks show. Everyone knows where they are. They're startled because they weren't expecting it. And that's something also you can do is pretty cool with the kids. You can make them and then take them when you go camping and just put around your campsite. The problem is a little squirrel or a little, deer or raccoon comes through there, it's going to scare the crap out of you. It's going to scare the crap out of you.
Yeah.
even when you're camping, because I've done that and it's gone off, and I'm like, what the heck? I get full battle gear, man. I'm locked and loaded, going, what the heck was that? And we go search for it, and we can't find anything.
Yeah.
It's probably some rat going by or something.
It's a leaf that has stiff wind behind it or something.
But it scares. I mean, my adrenaline was pumping. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Because we were just camping. We're like, who is that? So how about cameras? Are you and like motion lights and trip lights?
I like motion lights. I like solar motion lights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not big on cameras.
The only thing about solar motion lights, I have a friend. He has a barn,
mm-hmm.
and he has solar motion lights that come on if something trips it. But he can't even see it from his house. So what good is that? The guy's going to look around and go, gosh, there's not anyone even around for me to... It's going to help him see.
Well, I would actually do it more so where I would try and set a perimeter and have the lights facing in towards, and then having them overlap.
So you're
like
talking about a 360 around your house.
Yeah, so like one light would be going towards, the next one would be going a diagonal across, so the lights would overlap. You get better coverage.
Well, and then there's Dakota alarm systems, which are these devices you can put in the woods. You can discreetly put them on a tree, and it shoots a infrared line about 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think it's 100 yards. And if something breaks that, it will not make a noise, but it will transmit to a base station or a ham radio and let you know that zone has been tripped. That's a pretty cool device. I know that Scott Hunt and Southern Prepper One both like that alarm as well, because I've seen them not only talk about it in their on their YouTube channels, but I've talked to them in person about that, and they like them. Simple things like, you ever seen a pull string firecracker?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you put that in line and someone trips over it, that's going to scare the poop out of them.
Yeah.
And you might not be able to hear it, but...
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. You've ever seen the ones with like the mouse trap with the glow sticks and stuff like that?
Yeah,
I'm not
the
a big
mouse
fan.
trap? I mean, what's the glow stick?
Yeah.
The reason I went with the electronic match, it's just a AA battery, you can waterproof it pretty easy, is that it can send fireworks, like a Roman candle, off. Now, you're going to know where that's going because you'll be able to see that. So you know exactly where that alarm was set. But a glow stick, I can't see a glow stick past 30 yards anyway. Get bad eyes.
Yeah. That's comforting.
Comforting, yep. Well, goodness, Guardline is another one. It's cheaper than Dakota. Oh, so Guardline. I have never looked up Guardline, but my Columbia guy, Leader, is telling us about Guardline, so I'll look that up later. But so there are many. Now, some of these are EMP proof, though.
Mm-hmm.
A mouse trap and a rat trap with a fishing line is EMP proof. Dakota, not so much. Motion lights, not so much. Camera, no. And trip lines, no. But the trip lines, yes. So some of these aren't. So anyway, hey, you ready for a commercial break?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break if our producer, G-Man, is ready, and we'll be back. I think we got 3 spots. Got to pay the bills. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you in a minute.
The Prepping Academy with Forrest and Kyle. We'll be right back.
When disaster strikes and your GPS is useless, ancient navigation techniques will ensure your survival. New from Ulysses Press, Prepper's Survival Navigation. With this guide, you can easily travel through even the farthest, remotest places, utilizing tips from the United States Army and lifelong wilderness experts. You'll learn life-saving navigation techniques. This definitive guide to terrain navigation also teaches you essential survival skills like firecraft, water procurement, and shelter making. Prepper's Survival Navigation is essential to have on hand during any outdoor adventure, including the weekend family outing. On sale now. Find Prepper's Survival Navigation on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Prepper Broadcasting, or wherever fine books are sold.
Hey, Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net here.
And I'm nurse practitioner Amy Alton.
and we're here to get you medically prepared.
A lot can happen in the uncertain future, natural disasters, epidemics, terror events, but we're here with medical kits and supplies that will help make you a medical asset in times of trouble.
From first aid kits for the trail to complete family medical survival kits, we've got an entire line to help you deal with injuries and illnesses in any scenario. Compare our kits to others and you'll agree that only our kits are assembled to work best when help is not on the way.
So get a quality kit from a doctor and nurse practitioner and not some mass-produced knockoff. Often imitated, never equaled.
That's store.doomandbloom.net, store.doomandbloom.net.
And hey, get the essential guide for when medical help is not on the way, the Survival Medicine Handbook 3rd edition. Find it and the all-you-need-to-know Zika Virus Handbook on Amazon.com.
Hi, this is Ron Paul. I am a former congressman, physician, and presidential candidate. The world is in turmoil. Things like Ebola, earthquakes, wars, and famines are commonplace. As Americans, we are largely sheltered from these events. However, in parts of the world, just having enough food is a huge problem. For some of us, there is the nagging thought that we may not always have it so good. So we keep some food on hand just in case. My family and I have found a product that helps us do this better. It's a home freeze dryer from Harvest Right. With it, we eat healthier and store a little more food. We freeze dry everything we love to eat, and it lasts up to 25 years. Who knows what the future will bring? One thing's certain, my family and I will always have food on the table. To learn more, go to harvestright.com or call 800-923-9591. That's harvestright.com or 800-923.
Back to the show, the Prepping Academy with Forrest and Kyle.
Hey guys, welcome back. Again, this is the Prepping Academy. I'm Forrest. We got Kyle across the table. You can visit our website at preppingacademy.com. Prepping, I-N-G.
Prepper?
No, prepping.
Oh.
Prepping Academy, because that's what we're doing. We're preppingacademy.com.
See, that time it sounded like you said preppy.
We wear button downs. Penny loafers.
Oh, no, I won't be caught dead in penny loafers.
Oh, my word.
Nope.
So, go visit us at preppingacademy.com. You can also download. When you download, you need to subscribe, and then you need to rate. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple, iTunes.
Yeah, that works.
That's we will pay every single person who does that $1.
In what, Zimbabwe money?
Ooh, I can pay them $1 million in Zimbabwe money.
I thought those were like billion or trillion dollar bills.
I think maybe it is $1 billion bill.
No,
yeah,
it is.
Okay, $1 billion bill. Okay, tonight we are talking about protecting your retreat, your house, what kind of devices you can use to alert you, because they're different. Some devices can alert you, but some can also, scare off or let the intruder know that something has caught them, like a motion light.
Yeah.
They go, oh, they have something here. It caught me. I might not get caught. I mean, it might not know that I'm here, but they have some things installed. Yeah. So one of the things that I looked up earlier this week, and you just talked about, which is pretty interesting. Tell us about that.
So companies like Pathfinder, they have a perimeter security system.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, these are unattended ground mapping sensors that they'll pick up vibrations from people walking, and they'll actually alert your smartphone. So assuming there's no EMP, you have a really sweet perimeter system that you can go and you plant these out every so many feet. Someone starts strolling through your front yard, you can sit there and live watch them as they're strolling on up. You know exactly where they're at.
So I guess it takes ground vibrations, and when it senses someone's walking, it has a system or a Wi-Fi system or something that can send you an alert saying, hey, someone is on your grounds.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know, I don't know the cost. I couldn't find any cost on these things. Do you know the cost?
I do not. There's a couple places that have tried to carry them, and I don't know if they keep getting them in, they sell out or what, but they have not.
I know
the cost.
I know the military uses them, and like the border control, a lot of nuclear plants, a lot of places use these, but my concern is, that is, I mean, If you could set that perimeter around your entire place, though, man, what's that worth in a grid down? That's worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And let me ask you this. You have the app. Does the app tell you which one went off? I would think it would.
I would assume it would. Yeah, from the pictures they show in the demonstration, it looks like it shows you.
So you can know
that goes off.
exactly where someone's walking on your property. So let's say you have a retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's near Asheville, North Carolina, and you live in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
That thing could still alert you that someone's on your property.
Yeah.
You can call a neighbor then, or you can get, I like the solar powered cameras they have. They can then also connect it to a cell tower. You could mount it up in a tree or on a pole, and you could whip that thing around and actually see who's walking on your land.
Or if you're really wealthy, you could get the UAV drone.
Send one up.
It has the dart gun on it, with the tranquilizer dart, and chase them around through your woods, and that would be more fun.
That would be funner.
I think we should develop that into a sport.
Well, they have a sport racing drones, but not really chasing people.
Yeah, using drones to chase people. I think
there's
going
to be a movie out that does that.
No, I mean I don't care about the movie. I care about the game.
Okay. Now, I've seen the bicycle commercial or the Mountain Dew where they chase drones, but that would be pretty cool. Okay. So that is cool. I mean, the price on that, it concerns me. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you now, if I had a retreat and I was not up there and I wanted to protect things in my house, if that system's 10, 15 grand, that's still, that would be worth it.
Yeah. So let's talk about a few other things that, not just your surrounding perimeter, but even your immediate perimeter with your home. One of the cheapest things that I've bought and I absolutely love and I will fully intend to use whenever the crap hits the fan. It's good for building new structures. It's good for fortifying structures. And, depending on what you throw in there, it's even good for sleeping on. Just sandbags. Very simple, very cost-effective. Can make earth domes. They're, we'll say, bullet resistant. Depending on what you cover them with, you go back and cover them with concrete, chicken wire, stuff like that to really reinforce them. And, even sit there and build temporary places. Or, well, they're not going to be too temporary once you fill them up, but you know what I'm saying,
So would you suggest that people already have the sandbags filled?
No. But I mean, you can go on Amazon today, and I forget what the price is right now.
I've seen some for 35 cents a bag.
Yeah, a few $100, and you can buy literally 1,000 bags.
Right.
I mean, you can build a decent sized structure. Right. You can build a wall. You can do whatever you need to do with them. There's a lot of things out there that you just need to learn to be innovative with. Like, say, if you were to take, what are those big trash bags? The ones that they come and they'll haul stuff for you. They're fiberglass reinforced bags.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Take some of those, for example. They're not exactly sandbags, but you take those and you start filling them up with gravel and sand.
Mm-hmm.
You have yourself a really nice barrier.
Right.
And you don't have to sit there and build anything up, take logs, try and build stuff. So if you were to even start stockpiling stuff like that and figure out how you can use that to build.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, again, what you're saying is, I'm coming from the idea of you can have the stuff in a box and then implement it when the crap hits the fan.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming from the side, hey, if you got the property or you know where you're going to be, go ahead and start doing the work, some of the work now.
Do some of it. Keep it away. Still have some of the stuff in the box. But if you can start getting some supplies there, start loading up supplies, keeping them in some containers or something like that.
But we both would agree that the plan needs to be done now.
Yeah.
You need to have that plan to be able to secure your area way before this happens. Because, you know what, we're preppers. We prepare. We should have that already done.
Yeah, I think
let's bring that to your home today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you live in a neighborhood. I live in a neighborhood. There's still things today we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I got simple things like I have a fence in my backyard. I have motion lights. And I also keep my back light, porch light on.
Mm-hmm.
So people, you wouldn't feel comfortable walking up to someone with a big old bright light in your face. So, you kind of, and I do that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, we kind of welcome nighttime visitors at my house.
That sounds a little weird.
They're going to meet my little friend.
That sounds even weirder. I apologize, everybody.
It's called Mr. 19.
No.
My Glock night? No. Dude.
It's all good. You went too far.
Went too far?
You went too far down that one.
Okay. How about fake cameras all over your property? It has a little light, that little battery.
I could care less about stuff like that. And people doing signs.
Well, people don't know that it's fake, do they?
But if something's happening, what do they really care?
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, he's going to see me as I'm approaching. Like I smash his camera or put spray paint on it or something like that. That stuff. I don't think that's as big of a deal.
Okay. How about night vision and thermal? We always go to
thermal.
Thermal is.
I always go thermal.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
If you have an open field, night vision works great. But if you have, wooded or brush areas, because you can see. But that's even thermal works during the day. I didn't know this, but I looked at some FLIR. Yeah. So if they're in the bushes, even during the day, you can spot them in the bushes during the day. I did not know that. I was thinking thermal was at night, but they showed a demo of these, a gentleman hiding in the woods in broad daylight.
And if you look up, sometimes you can see the UFOs. I just had to throw that in there.
Oh my gosh. Did you go there, really?
I did. Your facial expression was great.
Yeah, I'm like, really? You did bring up drones.
Yeah, I think that's a total waste of money.
Do you really?
Don't buy a drone. God. Yeah, you're going to invest $1,500, $2,000 in a drone that can fly such a limited perimeter.
And people think, no, there's a drone. They can hear it. I mean, when you take a drone, if you're within a mile of a drone, in an area where there's no noise, I think you'll be able to hear that. Don't you think so? But man, drones would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you get like a horde of them, maybe like 1,000, and they chase people.
And they have guns mounted to them.
Yeah.
Or lasers.
There's no lasers that are that strong.
Well, we can create them.
Or maybe a railgun system. We could build one of those. Build railguns.
That is hilarious.
I think where we probably differ the most, and this is probably where a lot of people find themselves confused, is, do you hide or do you present yourself as something fortified and difficult for people to deal with? Basically being as intimidating as heck. And me, I prefer the intimidation factor versus hiding.
Intimidation, yes.
Because whenever you hide, you can have somewhat of a perimeter, but essentially once they're on you, and you don't have as much between. Did you just really take it? No. Oh, man. You don't have as much between you and an intruder. Whereas if you do have a clearing, you put yourself out there, it's just, there you are. Come at me, bro.
Right.
What do you got? Let's see what you got. Because as soon as you start walking up there, that's like D-Day right there.
So what are some things, let's see if I got everything. What are some things that people in their current house or living in a city or a lot of population that they can do to be safe now?
Well, I know we talk about doing the bolts in the door, the longer screws, and taking out your hinges, putting in 3.5-inch anchoring screws, things like that. Making sure you actually have a decent lock on your door. If it costs under $100, chances are we can get into it in 2 minutes or less with a bump key or a lockpick set. So, stuff like that, you have to really make sure you're investing your money wisely. One of my biggest things is I hate seeing people outside with their homes and putting out all these nice little bricks and stones and stuff like that, because if something happens, even today, I don't need something to break into your house, or if I want to vandalize your home, I can just walk outside and grab a brick off your front yard and throw it through your window.
Dude, I've never even thought about that in my life.
No,
Why would you think that?
Because I'm very analytical.
So when you see people put bricks down, you think, wow, I could take that and break their window with it?
I'm thinking if I were a criminal and I wanted to get in someone's home, or if I was in a period of social unrest and I was a precious little snowflake that just wanted your food, and there was 50 of me and my fellow snowflakes, how would we get into your house? Well, They're pretty stupid, but
Right.
I'm sure they would
Okay.
grab the closest object that was blunt and try
They
and
would
throw it
probably
through your
knock
window.
on the front door. Yeah. They're pretty.
I mean, they probably would at first,
Uh-huh.
and then they'd sit around and they'd grunt and they'd chant, and then they'd start,
Chant.
doing
Get
something.
pitchforks.
Yeah.
Okay. So security lights would be good.
Yeah, security lights.
Secure your doors.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I read a while back that I do this is you always, when you're pulling up to your house, you want to take your seatbelt off before you get to your house.
So if you're in an accident, you can fly through your windshield.
No, I'm talking just a few.
Well, I never have to
blocks.
worry about that because I never wear a seatbelt.
Dude, you're gonna get a lot of flack on that. I hope people. That is just wrong. You need to wear it.
How's that wrong?
Well, when you don't, first of all, it's against the law.
What?
And the Bible says you obey the laws of the land.
Mm.
Second of all, that tells your wife directly you don't love her. Boom.
I usually drive around with no seatbelt on.
Dude, you gotta wear your seatbelt.
No.
You've got to wear your seatbelt.
No.
Okay.
The
So,
Bible also says
but
that
it
we
says-
war against principalities and powers.
No, you said obey the laws of your land. So, unless they're against God's.
Yes, and you know what? They are. And you know why? Because they are a blended fabric. Let's go Levitical on you. They're a blended fabric.
Whatever.
Thou shalt not wear blended fabric.
Whatever.
In your face.
So, a good video to watch, as well as, and a good book is Southern Prepper One has a book on securing your retreat, and he talks about securing your retreat in many facets. That's mostly a retreat, but there's so much information on how to protect your house.
Another good one is, a lot of people don't know this, but if you have a wood home, if something were to happen, particularly if you have exposed wood, if you pre-char your wood, it actually makes it
Hard to burn?
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know about stuff like that. But like I have tools at the house where I can pre-char wood just for that sheer purpose that if, someone were to throw a Molotov cocktail, it's less likely to catch.
Mm.
And it doesn't take that much time to do that. It also makes it more resistant to mildew and water damage.
Burn your house so it won't burn down.
No, you don't burn it. You know what I mean. You char the outside. It only takes a couple of seconds.
You burn your house so it won't burn down.
Yeah.
So
we've also talked about psychologically things that you can do to kind of secure your perimeter. Like one of the things I recommend is everyone download an image of the FEMA cross that they put up in case of an emergency.
Oh, so you know the numbers?
Well, so you know what they mean, but then you go out, get yourself a nice little can of orange paint.
Mm-hmm. Paint your house.
Paint your own house. Lock your doors. Close your windows.
I was wondering, is there a symbol for like Ebola, like a contaminated house?
I think there are things that you can put in there. I don't think there's one specifically for Ebola.
Right.
But if
that would be good to know, though.
Obviously, if there's economic collapse and just social unrest, and then you go through and you paint Ebola, someone's gonna be like, something ain't right here.
Well, if it was a FEMA sign with like an Ebola or like a hazmat area to stay away, that would be kind of interesting. That way people wouldn't. I don't know. That would be interesting.
Basically, the way it works is the top section has time and date, and that a team went in. So you have time, date. To the right hand side, you have no entry, exit, food, water, hazards present. On the bottom, you have number of live or dead victims found in the structure. And then on the left, you have the organization that went in.
Live and dead?
Yeah.
Put all dead, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, you can. You just put dead on arrival or, live bodies or something like that. And then, to the left-hand side, you would put, CDC or FEMA or, DHS or whatever, something like that.
So, and signs work, though. Have you seen the signs that people go, hey, if you cross this line, you will be shot? I mean, that scares people. I mean, I've seen signs like that. I know in Doomsday Preppers, they had one that said, hey, if you cross this line, you're putting your life in danger or something like that. And that would scare the crap out of me if I'm a snowflake just walking looking for food.
Or just fire warning shots.
That's what the vice president said. You remember that? Someone knocked,
Yeah, good old Joe.
Joe Mama. So that's some good information. I mean, so this whole show is there are ways that you can secure your perimeter, and I think Kyle talks about a lot that you do beforehand, and I was talking about a lot that you can actually. You still have to prepare. Mm-hmm. Even what I was my suggestions or what I talked about, you have to have the equipment or buy the things beforehand.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing people need to do is take a day off. You're not working. Look at your home.
Dude, everyone should love us for that.
Yeah.
I mean, our rating should go through the roof. Yeah. Take a day off.
Yeah, look at your home and write down the scenarios that you're worried about and objectively say, all right, I'm no longer the person living in this home. I'm the person trying to break into this home to get what they have.
Mm-hmm.
And
in my spy class, I teach people on how to break in a garage door in less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, I had to sit there and watch that. That was right before you did the duct tape too, right?
Yeah. Do you have to bring out the duct tape?
Yeah. How's your arm hair going back in?
Man, it's well, the handcuffs. They handcuffed me at work and told me to get out of it.
No, you shouldn't forget your safe word.
My safe word. Dude, that killed me. That hurt me. And it took me longer than I thought because I dropped my handcuff key, my pick twice.
Yeah, and someone mentioned here,
head on
a dead body in the body in the yard next to a sign that says he crossed the line. Truth be told, something like that. I actually thought about going to the Halloween store sometime and just buying some props, and just if something does happen, just let that fake blood roll out and throw a hand somewhere and smoke things.
In the book, 1 second after, they actually hang a guy from the bridge so people would stop coming up towards Montreat.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that happens, but I if my neighbor got ran over, I might throw him, over the...
Dude, that's sick.
What?
Oh, you're saying if someone else killed him or something happened?
Yeah, I'm not saying if I did it. God.
You're not into dispatching people, are you?
No.
Okay.
Armageddon's a safe word. Very good.
Armageddon. and so that is, wow. I don't even want to talk about that. That's kind of sickening.
Well, not your neighbor.
But that is true. It would scare me if I'm walking and all of a sudden I see something like that. That would frighten me.
Yeah.
So, so the whole idea is you got to plan. If you don't plan, if you don't plan to succeed, you plan to fail.
What?
That's a business statement.
Okay.
It's corporate. Come on. You're always planning. You're either planning to succeed or fail. So, anyway, hey, let's talk about another one of our sponsors, Survival 401k. Survival 401k.
Mm-hmm.
That's Ross. He's going to be at Prepper Camp. Are you going to go to Prepper Camp?
Yeah.
Oh, where's my wife? I mentioned Prepper Camp. Anyway, he's there every year. What he can do, guys, for you is take your 401k or your IRA and kind of change it a little bit so you can actually buy prepping supplies. And there's no tax on it at all. He's at survival401k.com. Just wanted to throw that in there. His name is Ross, good friend. I got many people, friends of mine, like 3 right now, that are working with him, I believe, to do something. Either they have called or they're working with him now. Any comments from our chat room that are worthwhile of saying?
1 minute.
How's he telling us 1 minute on there and I'm not getting that on Skype? G-Man, what is going on? So we have 1 minute left. Hey, guys, tomorrow I'll be in Greensboro at 12 noon at the SGK Emergency Prepper Expo, the Greensboro Coliseum. I'll be speaking on survival groups. I also got my friends Rick and Jane are going to be Skyping in. I think that's all the speakers I know at this particular one. Next week, what's our subject on, you know?
No, we haven't decided yet.
Yeah, okay. But guys, hey, go to preppingacademy.com. It has, our iTunes and our Stitcher links there. You can sign up for our podcast. Go to Apple and give us a good rating. We got to have some 5s. The more ratings, 5s we have, the better we will show up on the search engine.
Or buy into that Chinese click farm and put us on there. Do that. Yeah.
So guys, we will be here next week. We hope you guys have a good week. We hope this was informational. I know it was kind of low key, my in-laws in the other room. Anyway, low key, talking about some pretty serious things though. Mm-hmm. So we hope you enjoy it. We'll see you guys next week on the Prepping Academy.
Forrest and Kyle, live on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Prepper Broadcast Network at PrepperBroadcasting.com. We'll catch you next time on the Prepping Academy.
Has your data been hacked? Do you feel uneasy about the vulnerability of your personal information online? Were you involved in the Target, LinkedIn, or Microsoft data leaks? Don't know? If not, then pay attention. Join Forrest Garvin from PrepperNet for a free webinar on privacy and security. Gain insights into safe internet browsing, VPNs, crafting online aliases, secure emails, detecting if your data has been hacked, and managing passwords. Secure your spot today for this webinar on privacy and security. It's free. This webinar delves into comprehensive strategies for bolstering your online privacy. We've got you covered, from fortifying your passwords to shielding your financial information and mastering state-of-the-art encryption techniques. We're offering 2 convenient dates to suit your schedule. Reserve your spot now at preppernet.com/privacy. Don't let cyber threats erode your peace of mind any longer. Take the first step toward a safer, more secure online experience by joining us for our free webinar. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to safeguarding your privacy. Sign up now at preppernet.com/privacy. We'll see you there.